What's going on YouTube? This is SG1 Sports and it's time for our Upset Alert video for week 6 of the college football season. This Upset Alert series has been one of the more successful ones here on the SG1 Sports YouTube channel. And last week was a pretty boring week. We got none of the upsets right. We were doing really good. 3 weeks in a row we got 3 or 4 upsets out of the 8 games we picked. And then last week none of them happened. I think really the only upset that would have qualified would have been Troy over LSU, and nobody really saw that one coming. You know, I did say that game might be close, but I sure didn't think that Troy would actually win it. So this week we decided, going forward, I'm going to lower the parameters to 4 points. It has to be a 4-point spread or more, just because we have so many conference games and it's really hard to pick out 8 games because of that. So we're going to start off here with a 4-point spread, and that's NC State hosting Louisville. This one's Thursday night, 8 o'clock on ESPN. And I said preseason I thought NC State would win this game, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you outright I've got NC State winning this game. Not only do I think Louisville should be on upset alert, I think they're going to lose. North Carolina's got a good defense. I think they're going to get after Lamar Jackson. They got a good offense as well, and Louisville's defense has really been struggling. So I think it's a close game either way, but I like NC State to win it by a field goal at home on Thursday night. That's just when all the upsets usually happen. Okay, Saturday at 3:30 on FS1, we got West Virginia and TCU. TCU a 14-point favorite. That's a big, big number in my opinion. I think this game will be close either way. I don't know if I'm going to go ahead and pick West Virginia to actually win this game, but TCU should definitely be on upset alert. I know they're playing at home. This West Virginia team can put up some points, and TCU, I know, coming off that big win against Oklahoma State, you have to wonder, are they going to be a little overconfident for this one? I probably am going to go with TCU to win that game, but I do think it'll be close. Kansas State at Texas. Texas is a 4-point favorite. Kansas State's been struggling a little bit, but Kansas State, it seems like they've kind of had Texas' number in the last few years. They played them very well, and I think they have a chance to win this game. It's on the road, so it's going to be tough. I'm looking for a low-scoring defensive game. It comes down to the wire either way, but yeah, that should be a good one. It's going to be maybe one of the better games of the weekend. I don't know who I'm going to pick yet. We'll see. May go ahead and stick with Texas on this one. But I think we're going to get 1 or 2 this week. No upsets last week. I think we're going to get some this week. All right, Michigan State at Michigan. Michigan a 13.5-point favorite. On the outside looking in, you'd think Michigan probably is going to win this game. But you never know. It's a rivalry game. Michigan State's been playing pretty good. So this one's tough for me to – it was tough whether or not I was going to put this game on here or not, because I do think Michigan probably wins this game. But I think they should still be on upset alert just because it's a rivalry game, and you never know what might happen. All right, let's keep it going now with Wisconsin against Nebraska. Nebraska has really been struggling lately, but I don't know. They seem like they did better last week. Wisconsin keeps getting off to these slow starts. It's at Nebraska. The crowd's going to be fired up. It's a night game. So look out for this one. I think Nebraska could potentially pull it off. I do think Wisconsin, if I'm picking it, I'm going to pick Wisconsin in this game. But maybe, just maybe, Nebraska gets a low-scoring game and maybe pulls off an upset here. You never know. I think it'll be a pretty good game either way. I think all these games I have on here will be close, except maybe the last one. But we'll get to that in just a minute. All right, Arizona at Colorado. Colorado a 7-point favorite. They haven't looked too good the last 2 weeks. They've lost 2 in a row. Arizona, Brandon Dawkins a good quarterback. If it was at Arizona, I would really feel confident for the upset here. But at Colorado, it's going to be tough for me to actually pick Arizona. But they should, Colorado's going to have to bring their A game. Arizona's not a bad team this year. So I think that'll be a close game, a fun one to watch. But yeah, just watch out for it. And then staying in the Pac-12, we've got Stanford at Utah. FS1 Saturday night. This will be a late night game. Stanford a 6.5-point favorite on the road. What Stanford team is going to show up? We've seen them look really good. We've seen them look really bad. And, it's tough to say. Utah still undefeated. They've got the injured quarterback. Not sure if he's going to be back for this one or not. I don't think he is. So it'll be interesting to watch. Utah just seems to find a way to win these games sometimes. So we'll see what happens. But I think Utah has a real shot at this one, especially playing at home. And here's the last game. All right, you're going to call me crazy. You're going to say there's absolutely no way Alabama loses this game. And I'm not saying they're going to lose. I will pick Alabama here if I was picking the game. But think about just a few things here in this game. Alabama has put forth a great effort 2 weeks in a row against Vanderbilt and Ole Miss. I know those teams are not that good, but you could just tell Alabama was motivated for those games. They were out to make a statement. They were up for those games. A lot of times, a team is not really going to be up for those types of games, but they were definitely up for those games. Can they do it 3 weeks in a row? All right, so that's the first aspect here. Now let's look at Texas A&M. A dual threat quarterback. I know he's a freshman, but still, Alabama in the past has struggled a little bit with those dual threat quarterbacks. He is getting better. This whole team is getting better. They are improving week to week. You can see it. The defense last week really got after it, and they're playing at home. Kevin Sumlin, it seems like, I don't think he did it last year, but most years they usually go in and get a big upset. So could this be the game that they get it? I think you could look at this game. They also have Auburn at home later in the year, so they could very well maybe pull off an upset. So you look at all those things, and maybe, just maybe, there's a slight chance of an upset in this game. Again, I don't really think it's going to happen. I think this is going to be one of those games that Alabama is either going to dominate, win by 30-plus points, or it stays close. And that's the thing. If Texas A&M can keep it close, they have already been in some close games. They have, the UCLA game last week was a close game. Arkansas overtime. They're battle tested for these close games. Alabama hasn't really had a close game, so that's another thing. I mean, there are a lot of things you could look at here that point to Texas A&M potentially pulling off the upset, or at least keeping it close. And again, I don't really think it's going to happen, but I wouldn't be shocked. Let's just say I wouldn't be shocked if Texas A&M came in here and pulled off an upset, or at home, I should say. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting to watch. I think people are overlooking this one just a little bit, and we'll see what happens. Alabama is clearly the better team. They're a much better team. But if they have a little bit of a letdown, if Texas A&M can keep it close, they can get the crowd into it, which we've seen. When that crowd gets going, Texas A&M is one of the toughest places to play. And if they can load up, stop the run, Jalen Hurts still, to me, is not proven that he can throw the ball down the field. So it's going to be interesting. Again, I am not, for about the 20th time, I'm not picking Texas A&M here, but I think it's going to be a fun one to watch, maybe a close game. And if it does stay close, you just never know what might happen. Well, that's going to do it for this week's episode of our Upset Alert. Go ahead and leave a comment down below. Do you think any of these upsets are actually going to happen? Is there an upset you see that could happen that I didn't mention? Again, it has to be a 4-point spread or more to be considered, because if it's less than that, it's not really an upset. And even 4 points is not much. But again, we had to go to 4 points because there's just not a lot of games to pick from. But with all the conference games, a lot of these spreads are very small. A lot of people are expecting close games. So that is why we're going to do that moving forward. But that's going to do it for this episode. Tomorrow we will have all of our previews. Now, I'm kind of doing a new schedule, and this is what I'm planning to do going forward. I will have all my preview videos up on Wednesday. So we'll have every team, every conference done. We'll preview the week on Wednesday. And I moved the Pick'em video back to Thursdays. So I give myself another day to do the Pick'em, get this leaderboard updated so I can make sure that's always updated each week. So with this new schedule, I kind of have five videos on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And then we'll have our Heisman video and our Pick'em game on Thursday. And maybe look at, like I did last week, we may look at some stats or things like that. Also going to be moving forward with my NBA preview videos and the NBA predictions. So if you're an NBA fan, watch out for those videos. We did the Warriors already, and we're going to be starting probably Thursday or Friday. We're going to be doing several a day, looking at all the teams in the West. We're going to go through all of the teams in the West, then go through all the teams in the East. I'll go team by team, give a preview for that team, some predictions from some other sources, and then my predictions. And then at the end of that, I will show what the standings would look like at the end of the year based off of my predictions, how the playoffs would look, and I'll go through the playoffs and give you my playoff predictions for the NBA. NBA season is going to be here in just 2 or 3 weeks. I mean, it's really coming up fast. So I do plan on doing a lot of NBA stuff here on this channel, along with college football, and maybe get back to doing some NFL and other stuff. We'll see how it all goes. But that's it for this episode. I kind of rambled here about some other stuff, but thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more here on the SG1 Sports YouTube channel.